Turner. Kat, how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me on.
You are based in Los Angeles now, but what are your Wisconsin roots?
I was born in Sturgeon Bay. I went to grade school, high school, then I moved to Milwaukee, where I went to Marquette and I graduated from Marquette. I also attended Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. I did a double major. So, yeah, I was in Wisconsin for most of my formative years.
You did a double major at MIAD and Marquette?
I did photography and theater.
I didn't know you could do that.
I think I may have been the first person to do it.
There you go, trailblazer. And when was the last time you were in Wisconsin?
Not that long ago for Christmas.
Oh, good. So you still get back here for family and friends?
I do. I have a lot of family that still lives in Sturgeon Bay, and my sister and my niece and nephew live in Milwaukee. So lots of family still in Wisconsin. Lots of love for Wisconsin.
What is the one thing when you come back to Wisconsin that makes it feel like home to you?
Fresh water. You know, living in LA for so long, I've become so used to the ocean that when I grew up on the water. So if I'm home in the summer, I love to go swimming. And I grew up on the bay side of Sturgeon Bay in Door County. But getting into fresh water feels so incredible now.
And did you watch Top Chef last season when it was centered here in Wisconsin?
Oh my God, I devoured it. It was like an honor to have Top Chef feature Wisconsin and to see the way that they highlighted so much of the culture so beautifully. It was just really, it felt really special. It was very sweet.
Well, congratulations on being chosen to be a chef testant on this season's Top Chef. Now, you are a two-time winner of Chopped, the Food Network's game show, cooking competition show. There's a lot of mystery ingredients. There are a lot of intense time constraints. How did your experience winning on Chopped more than once influence your interest in being on Top Chef?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, Chopped is fun. Chopped is like a little snack compared to Top Chef. It definitely whetted my appetite for competition. I've always been competitive. I've always loved entertainment in general. I'm kind of a natural ham. You throw a camera on me and I, kind of light up. So that combination of competition and being on camera is kind of extra fun for me.
What was it about Top Chef that made you want to audition?
They actually reached out to me, which was very cool, and asked if I wanted to apply for the season.
That's incredibly flattering, Kat. Oh my gosh.
It was very flattering. I know. I was kind of stunned by it myself.
How did you get on their radar?
Probably from all the other competition stuff that I've done. I've done, outside of Food Network, I've done stuff with the Try Guys and Dropout TV. And, I have a restaurant in Los Angeles, two locations, and I'm pretty active on my Instagram. So I think I just come up in the conversation. And I don't know, I just kind of naturally do well on camera, I guess. They were like, oh, she looks cool. She can cook and she looks cool. She's got a good story.
Well, and you are the brightest person on the first episode of this season of Top Chef.
Well, bright because I'm wearing a bright red jumpsuit.
You're wearing the bright red jumpsuit, but you've got...
I almost got kicked off. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's okay. Talking about almost getting kicked off, Kat, we're talking about time management. You've won Chopped twice where it's, like you said, it's incredibly intense for 20 to 30 minutes. How did the time get away from you in that first episode?
It's almost that on those really, really fast competitions, you're so aware of every second that you can't let a single one out of your grasp. And when you're given, 2 hours, an hour and a half, it feels like more time than it is. It's a longer amount. And so if I had had one more minute, I would have gotten everything on the plate, like it was a matter of minutes at the end there. And you just lose them along the way if you're not careful.
And Kat, what does it feel like when you find out you're standing there in the bottom two? What's going through your head in front of all?
I mean, I knew I was going to be there. I knew I was going to be there. Like from the second the timer went off, I knew that my worst nightmare most likely in my mind was going to come true. And that was that I would be the first one to be sent home.
I don't remember if you swore. I don't remember if there was a bleep there.
Oh, they just didn't show me swearing. I was swearing a lot. Oh my gosh. I lost it. I was so scared to watch the first episode because I was so worried that they would show me having, a total meltdown in the kitchen. It was awful. It was awful.
But that's the drama. That's the real drama of it.
Exactly. And when I signed up for it, I said, I came to make good food and great television. And I did it in episode 1.
That's true. It was I was like, oh no, I want to keep rooting for Kat, because we got spoiled in the last season getting to root for Chef Dan Jacobs from Milwaukee all the way through the series. Are you acquainted with any of the Wisconsin chefs here in this world through Top Chef or just through your history?
So it was very sweet. I was on my Instagram one day and Dan slid into my DMs just to congratulate me and to say if I needed anything, back home, that, he'd be a resource for me, which was very, very, very awesome. My brother was a chef in Milwaukee for many years. He worked at Sanford and Coquette afterwards. He worked very closely with Sandy D'Amato. And so that was kind of one of the first Milwaukee chefs that I had ever met. And that's kind of one of the big reasons why I got into cooking to begin with, was that, knowing my brother-in-law and eating at places like Sanford when I was in college.
Wow, that is some of the Milwaukee elite when you talk about that level of the culinary world. Hear the rest of that conversation with Top Chef competitor Kat Turner on the What's on Tap podcast. Find it at WTMJ.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Kat Turner grew up in Sturgeon Bay, went to Marquette and Myad, so root for her to make it all the way on Top Chef this season. See how she does tonight at 8 on Bravo, and you can catch up on her near loss in last week's first episode by streaming that on Peacock. Bag Rock. That's the unique sound you'll hear next on What's on Tap.
While the king is on the sideline watching all alone.
It's our ball, ain't it? It's our ball! Hey! It's our ball!
Watch how the next man up is coming for his throne.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Giannis the other way. Goes hard at Siakam and then plunges it down with a monstrous one-hand jam.
The Bucks head to L.A. to take on the Lakers. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 9. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Save big money on the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing adds value to your home with superior wind and hail resistance. Choose from 29 beautiful colors, available in cut to your length panels for fast installation. View our entire selection of steel roofing today on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for other hot deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
The sound of bagpipe music. It doesn't always have to make you weep. It can make you smile, actually rock out. With a name like the Red Hot Chili Pipers, you know these musicians have a sense of humor, and they also have to be mad talented to adapt rock and pop songs to sound great played by bagpipes. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano interviewed Willie Armstrong, one of the founders of the Red Hot Chili Pipers, a bagpipe rock band. Can you
take me back to the first time it occurred to you, hey, we can do more than play the classics on the bagpipes. Like, we can do some contemporary stuff.
So you could say that if you play the Highland bagpipes and you're trying to entertain a broader audience and not just bagpipe aficionados, then you're going to have to broaden your scope of music there. Now, the difficulty with the bagpipes is it only has one octave. The instrument only has one octave. So you have to be quite clever in what you do.
Are there songs, Willie, that you all have tried and just thought, you know what, man, this does not fit. It doesn't work for bag rock?
Yeah, fantastic question again, Vince. I just think that if you could put 1,000 tunes down and we can say, can we do this? All this stuff has been well thought through, and we go through, Vince, I'm not lying, I would probably say 50 tunes, and we think, does that work? Nah. Okay, next one, nah. And then after an hour or two, you say, wait a minute, we might have something here, let's try that.
Red Hot Chili Pipers playing the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Willie Armstrong is one of the founders of the band. Is it harder, Willie, to play like AC/DC on the bagpipes as opposed to Amazing Grace?
So Amazing Grace is a slow air, so yeah, your fingers don't have to move at the same speed. I think that when, let's not forget, AC/DC are a Scottish band as well, and when they done Thunderstruck all those years ago, it's an incredibly difficult piece of music to play on the bagpipes.
Talking with Willie Armstrong, one of the founding members of the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
We're seeing the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
Willie, please tell me you know of at least one occasion where someone came to see your show and thought they were coming to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, that's happened a few times. The advertising is always, we make sure that it's guys dressed in kilts playing bagpipes. And we've even capitalised the Pipers part of it. So it's not Peppers, it's spelt differently, it's Pipers. But mostly it's taken in good humour when that happens. And there's a mother and daughter who bought a ticket for $45 to come and see us in a theatre in Sheboygan, I think it was. It was all over the internet. It went viral on the internet. So viral that the Red Hot Chili Peppers gave them free tickets to come and see their show. But we're still in contact with the mother and daughter, and they loved our show. As much as the Red Hot Chili Peppers, so they still come back to see us.
You guys play all over the world. You could go anywhere you want, particularly around St. Patrick's Day. Why do you always come back to Milwaukee?
It's such an iconic place to go. I love Milwaukee. I love the Art Museum, and it's right next to the rock stage at Milwaukee, the Henry Meyer Park. So love Milwaukee, and I think that it's a really appreciative crowd. Most people in Milwaukee have heard of the band because we play obviously at the Irish Fest most years. So yeah, I cannot wait to play there.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Willie Armstrong, one of the founders of the Red Hot Chili Pipers. You can see Red Hot Chili Pipers in person in Wisconsin this week and next week. You have several chances to see the 9-piece ensemble of pipers, drummers, guitarists, keyboards. They will be on stage in Milwaukee tomorrow night at the Marcus Performing Arts Center, in Ashwaubenon Saturday night at the Ashwaubenon Performing Arts Center, in Eau Claire next Thursday, March 27th at the RCU Theater, then in Wausau next Friday, March 28th at the Grand Theater, and in Madison next Saturday, March 29th at the historic Capitol Theater inside the Overture Center. Nearly no excuse to miss the Red Hot Chili Pipers on this tour. From bagpipes to baseball, there is good news for Brewers fans who want to see the recent documentary called Just a Bit Outside, the story of the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers. The heartwarming, exhilarating film, it's returning to the big screen and coming to your personal screen. Details on how you can watch and a sample of what you'll see next on What's on Tap.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Free look, high drive, deep right, way back. Noel's going to be a spectator on that one.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Diamondbacks Friday night at 8. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
Welcome to What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world-class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. I am Sandy Maxx. I am a big Milwaukee Brewers fan. You might be too. And when we had the chance to see a documentary all about the 1982 Brewers, it was something I scrambled to go see. So you've heard about it, called Just a Bit Outside, movie all about the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers and that season. Well, now you will be able to see it. Just a Bit Outside, the story of the 1982 Milwaukee Brewers, that is the title of the documentary, is finally coming to streaming. And it's so Wisconsin. It's us. The movie is made by Wisconsin natives, producer-director Sean Hanisch and producer Kelly Call, and it's screened in Marcus Theaters in September and October, and I saw it, and I'm going to tell you, it was so good. It was such an emotional experience and so well done that I was legitimately steamed when it didn't make the Oscars shortlist of documentaries. And it's that good. Well, here's the good news. The Roku channel is where you will be able to stream Just a Bit Outside starting April 11th through June the 30th. And it really is special. Like, here's a sample of what the film is like. In this trailer, you're going to hear voices of Bob Uecker, Bud Selig, Robin Yount, and other beloved members of that 1982 team. This is the trailer for Just a Bit Outside.
Everybody loves their hometown team. But there is something different in Milwaukee.
Don Sutton said it best. He said every player should have the privilege of playing in Milwaukee.
81, 82, there was a recession going on. We knew that the people were hurting. We were trying to give them something that they could hang on to.
And, well, here we go. Off and running.
That 82 season, it was chaotic. It's a blue-collar town, and we were a blue-collar ball club.
Every single guy had his own way of being different.
Everybody thought that we were this band of crazy guys.
My goal in Milwaukee was to drink in every bar before my career was over.
Party all night and then go out and bash them to death.
Army's wall bangers are banging it all over the place.
We all clicked.
There was just an incredible energy in the city.
The fans were fired up. It was really fun.
Go, Brewers, go!
There's nothing better than a whole city cheering for you.
They're gonna do it!
I sure do love to play baseball for the people of Milwaukee.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna cry.
Gone for Robin!
Town was painted blue and gold anywhere you went.
It's something people can relate to. It lifts their spirit.
Charlie Moore is such a fox.
As a team, as a city, we were so ready. This is what we've all wanted and dreamed about. We made it. We're in the World Series.
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I wish it was 82 again.
Oh, my scalp tingled hearing that. I'm not kidding. If you lived through that, you had to have emotions just even hearing that trailer. And the movie, it really is a time capsule of the early 80s in Milwaukee. And the interviews, you heard some of those voices there that you recognize. Hall of Famers Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Ted Simmons, Raleigh Fingers. But you also get to hear from Moose Haas, Ben Ogilvy, Charlie Moore, and you now know just how special it is anytime we get time with Bob Uecker, Hall of Fame announcer, and to see him on the big screen. I think it'll be an emotional experience. So you do have a chance to see Just a Bit Outside on the big screen next weekend before the home opener. March 29th and March 30th, the Time Cinema over on Vliet is going to screen Just a Bit Outside. So check that out, Time Cinema next weekend. And it also, if you're in Madison, the Wisconsin Film Festival on Friday, April 4th, there'll be a screening with the filmmakers at that screening. And if you just can't wait to stream it on Roku starting on April 11th, or you want to give it as a gift, DVD, you can get the DVD on Amazon. But I'm telling you, I'm so glad I got a chance to see it and to be able to see those plays on the big screen. And it's just great for all generations to get together, because I'm convinced it's going to stir up memories and stories from people who lived through it, and questions from those of us who weren't there storming the field or drinking in the bars. But so again, Just a Bit Outside, fresh news today that documentary will be streaming on Roku, on the Roku channel, starting April 11th through June 30th. And if you want to see it on the big screen, you can do that next weekend at the Times Cinema. And speaking of brewers, want to come see some historic breweries with me? Tempting all beer lovers with a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Next on What's on Tap.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
This March, Heiser Automotive Group is putting the pedal to the metal with our Accelerate Your Refund sales and service event. Tax season is the best time to upgrade your ride or take care of your current vehicle. And we're making it easier than ever to turn your tax refund into turbocharged buying power. Accelerate into a newer used vehicle or get essential repairs and maintenance done. Plus, with Heiser's exclusive Safe and Sound program, you can buy and service with confidence, convenience, and peace of mind. Visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
Finally home.
What's wrong?
I'm tired of this old, beaten down, ugly garage door.
All right, it's not that bad.
Really? It's so old.
Yeah?
And it breaks all the time.
Okay, yeah, I hear you.
It's dirty, it's loud, it doesn't even close.
Give your old garage door new life. Get a new garage door from Lifetime Door Company. Register to win a free door plus free installation at WTMJ.com.
It doesn't even close, and the track is dented.
Okay, you've made your point.
Look at the windows. They're busted.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
For people with disabilities, an opportunity can make all the difference. Get help navigating the transition into adulthood, employment, housing, healthcare, and more with Thinkability Wisconsin, a resource hub that empowers people with disabilities.
I am super glad I have Down syndrome. I love my life. Don't be afraid if you want to have a job and live on your own.
Live life to the fullest. It all starts when you say yes. Contact a Thinkability Navigator to get help at thinkabilitywi.org.
Are you concerned with AMD? Now protecting your eyes is easier thanks to new Nordic's Blueberry Eye Supplements, available now at Amazon.com or newnordicusa.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Welcome back to What's on Tap. I am Sandy Maxx, and song puts you in a good mood. It's the Beer Barrel Polka, for heaven's sake. And on What's on Tap, if you watch on the YouTube live stream, you text the word watch to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. If you text the word watch, then we send you a link and you can actually watch the YouTube live stream. And in between, when we're in a break, it's usually just a slide that says, hey, we'll be right back. But nope. Now, producer Nate Rilling has made the perfect interstitial video for the break. It is literally What's on Tap, Brian, right?
Yeah, it's literally a tap beer being poured.
There you go.
What's on Tap logo next to it. It's pretty awesome.
And it sets the tone, producer Brian Kelly, because a cold Miller High Life, local craft brew, really can hit the spot. But why not live the high life and raise a glass where beer began? Yes, I'm talking about my European brewery tour, Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. Love for you to join me. This is a dream trip if you love craft beer and what it takes to make a beer in the most purest form over the centuries. Then this is the right trip for you. And it is a gateway to also get into these special brewery tours. And it really is a bucket list experience, because also beer is more than just the sipping and the tasting. It is that communal experience. So come with me and some other WTMJ fans who are a lot of fun. I can base that on my Beatles trip that I took a couple years ago with some WTMJ fans. We had a great time and we still are in contact. That's the kind of communal vibe that these special WTMJ trips can provide. So we're going to have exclusive visits to world famous breweries in Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic in our group. We're going to visit Hofbrauhaus in Munich. It's legendary. It's been around since the 1500s. Even Mozart has drank in the Hofbrauhaus. We'll raise big steins there and sing along to the bands and enjoy the painted ceilings and Augustinerbrau. And we're also going to find those hidden gem beer halls and taverns around. So we get to explore, because there's a lot that's planned during this 10-day trip, September 12th through the 22nd. But there's a lot of time to do what you want to do and make that trip your own. But Steve Bertrand Travel books the hotels. They're all 4-star hotels. We'll have breakfast every morning. There's a lot of meals included. Like, all those details are taken care of. So we just get to show up to Neuschwanstein Castle and walk right in while everybody else has to stand in line. If you want the brochure, you can see it at WTMJ.com. Click there or send me an email and I will pop you a note right back. SANDY at WTMJ.com. That's Sandy at WTMJ.com. Because it's fun to go to German restaurants here in Milwaukee or anywhere you find them in Wisconsin, but to really be in the old world brewing traditions and see the centuries-old beer-making techniques of some of the world's most iconic beers, and walking through medieval towns, seeing the landscapes of the Alps and cultural treasures. We'll visit museums in Vienna. We're going to go to Salzburg in Austria, where Mozart was born. We're going to go to Prague, which is the city of 1,000 spires. Automatically, you could see that in your mind, but see it in person and stroll. There's a big medieval astronomical clock that's like a huge glockenspiel in the city center. There's the Charles Bridge, where you walk over it, and there are 30 different Baroque sculptures. That's just decorating the bridge. And of course, we're talking beer, but you have to have food that goes with that Bavarian beer and Bohemian cuisine, from sauerkraut to sauerbraten and schnitzel and strudel. There are other foods that start with other letters other than S, but we're going to really enjoy some Weisswurst. If you enjoy bratwurst, how about a bratwurst in Germany or Austria or in the Czech Republic? There are a lot of ways you can spend your time, invest in making some memories, and take this trip. It is going to be fun. And many breweries on our list offer behind-the-scenes tours, but they're not available to the general public. This is something you can only get with us. So this really is a unique, specially curated European brewery tour with Steve Bertrand Travel. Email me. I'll pop you a note back. Sandy@WTMJ.com. Love to travel with you. Sip your way through brewing history with me in Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic, where really, just like Milwaukee, beer isn't just a drink. It really is a way of life and culture in our city and heck in our state. It's that way in Germany for sure. So come join me. There are limited spots available. Reserve yours. Book it, baby. Sandy@WTMJ.com. I would love to travel with you and say Prost and raise a glass, raise a big stein. Shakespeare and the song you need to hear coming up on What's on Tap.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Well, spring is quickly approaching, and it's the perfect time for you to get an awning installed, so it's ready once the temps warm up. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. Until March 21st, you can receive a free motor with the purchase of any retractable awning or screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Broadway's smash hit, the Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, is coming to Milwaukee. The true story of a kid from Brooklyn, destined for something more, featuring all the songs you love, including America, Forever in Blue Jeans, and Sweet Caroline. Like Jersey Boys and Beautiful, the next musical mega hit is here. The Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, March 25th through 30th at the Marcus Center. On sale now at marcuscenter.org.
Explore outdoor living this Saturday from Eric Brown, the president of Outdoor Living Unlimited. He knows his stuff. They expand your living space with decks, patios, fire pits, even outdoor kitchens, and can show you a virtual reality of it all for starters. Outdoor Living Unlimited did a great job at the Maxx household. We love it. So listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix It Show and check out OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
This is the music that sets the tone for Romeo and Juliet by the Milwaukee Repertory Theater. This is really how Romeo and Juliet starts, and it caught me by surprise. I knew that the Reps version of Romeo and Juliet was more of an Appalachian setting and design. I didn't realize music was part of it, though. But think about Appalachia, got kind of a Hatfield and McCoy influence with the Capulets and the Montagues. And it's being performed. I brought my little program in and everything. Now through March 30th at the Wilson Theater at Vogel Hall at Marcus Performing Arts Center, because the Rep is still under renovation now. But it was fun because when I went, it's always nice to see somebody you know at the theater. As soon as I walked into the lobby, bumped into somebody I knew, WTMJ's Vince Vitrano. And I had pulled him aside a bit today, wanted to compare notes and find out, starting with, did Vince like Romeo and Juliet?
Well, first of all, I thought it was really well done, Sandy, and I think I fear that a lot of people avoid Shakespeare in production because they don't want to feel stupid, right?
Sure.
Like, well, I'm not going to understand stuff, and that's not for me. And what was reaffirmed by this production at Milwaukee Rep is if you have a show that's well directed, well staged, well produced, and well acted, Shakespeare, the text becomes a lot more accessible and understandable.
Incredibly well acted, and my mom is a purist when it comes to Shakespeare. She wants to see tights and frilly collars and like stilted, kind of proper Shakespeare, which can be very alienating.
Mm-hmm. And I thought I wouldn't like that because I'm more, if I had to skew one way or another, I would go towards your mom's interpretation or preferred production of Shakespeare.
From the 1500s.
I have no problem with it. Just why do we always have to feel like, well, this is set in the 60s. This is set, like, why do we have to do that? But, and one of the reasons I feel that way is because I like Shakespeare and I like the text and I want to immerse myself in it, and I don't want these other things to be a distraction.
Yeah.
Don't take away from that. I thought in this case, not only was it not distracting, it enhanced your ability to understand what was happening.
And so Vince Vitrano giving some of his thoughts on the production of Romeo and Juliet right now that the Milwaukee Repertory Theater is staging at the Marcus Performing Arts Center in the Wilson Theater at Vogel Hall. And it was nice to bump into him. And I wanted to compare more notes because I thought it was very cool, as I mentioned just a couple of seconds ago, how great it was to have the music. When you walk in, steel guitar, banjo even, there was washboard and spoons at one point. So it's a very homey, authentic sound that really immerses you into it. And I was also impressed by the set design. Like, as soon as you walk in, the Wilson Theater at Vogel Hall is an intimate space, and you can see the stage right there, and it's very wooden with, of course, balconies. You have to have that, but it's almost got kind of a southern, well, it's Appalachian, so it's kind of got that southern, almost swampy vibe. It's got some peeling wallpaper at parts, and lots of wildflowers. Vibe, earthy flowers.
Yeah, made really good use of what I think is probably a smaller space there inside Vogel Theater, which, if you haven't been to the Rep lately, since it's all torn up, these main stage productions or these larger productions are at Performing Arts Center at the Marcus Center. So also that's a beautiful little theater.
It's
Vogel
a very
Theater,
intimate
right?
space.
Great spot.
Nice red velvet seats. And,
thought they made really good use of the space in the set. And your point about music, I was excited to talk to you about that because, again, as more of a purist, I always wonder, like, I don't know, should we really be messing around with this? But I don't know if that's a thing from director Laura Braza, because I think she also did Much Ado last year, and Much Ado About Nothing also had music, which is not part of the traditional staging of that. And I wonder if that's just a thing for her, a device for her. But either way, that seems to be how they're going with these productions at the Rep. And I liked it. I thought it added to it, not distracted.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I agree with Vince that it really engaged you and got you much more drawn in. So those are the words, the music, and the set design. Who will you see on stage? some really great actors bringing the story to life, well, and technically to death. But you've got Matt Daniels and DeMonte Henning, who are really forces of nature on the stage in Milwaukee. There isn't a weak link in the bunch.
You mentioned Matt Daniels. You would have seen him probably most recently as Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, and his interpretation of that character is phenomenal, but you don't recognize him in this role. His voice is so fascinating, and it's just a pleasure to listen to. I mean, I could listen to him read from the phone book. Like, it goes right through you. There are a couple of other people that you might recognize. I wrote down a few of the others. Nate Berger is a regular at American Players Theater. So he does a ton of Shakespeare, and he plays the friar and one of the friends to Romeo as well. And, Nate's a real pleasure to watch do Shakespeare. The guy who played Romeo, Kenneth, I forget Kenneth's last name, but he was in Much Ado About Nothing as well, and just a fantastic Romeo. Alex Kuiper, I believe, was in, what was the musical they did? Titanic. She was in that with Milwaukee Rep.
Yes,
so
she was.
We're seeing some of these folks come back, and then, of course, some familiar names who are here locally based all the time. So if you think back to the glory days of Milwaukee Rep, when my parents first started taking me, they knew everybody who was in that company, and this person is portraying that, or Pickering is doing this. Well, we have to go see that. And I feel like maybe they're getting back to that.
And it is fun when you see those familiar faces and you realize just how talented the actors are that we have here, and the directors, but especially the actors, when you realize you've seen someone in a comedic role and then in a musical role, then in a very, very serious role, that we really are blessed with some great talent in our fine city and in our fine state. So to Vince's point, and he had another really interesting way to explain why he thinks this production of Romeo and Juliet is so engaging and easy to understand, easy to follow along.
It is because it's so well acted. I think back to foreign language class, right? When the first time, what did you take? I took German.
Spanish,
right,
Espanol.
Okay. So did you have the teacher who, like, day one was like, nope, we're doing this whole class in Spanish?
That's immersive. That's
right.
how you learn,
so,
and how you train your brain to think for the words.
And how can that work? One of the reasons it works is because when you have a great teacher up there, they are expressing with their bodies and with their facial expressions the words they're trying to tell you. And this is very much presented in that way of, like, you can tell by the staging, by where people are, how they're reacting to one another. Even if you don't catch every word of that Shakespearean dialogue, oh, I get it. He's actually making fun of him. Or she's really upset about that. Like, you can see that because it's so well performed.
And the wittiness of Shakespeare
Yes.
comes across even in the very first, like, husband and wife interaction.
And a little dirty here and there. Old Shakespeare liked the dirty joke now
Bawdy.
and then. Right?
Bawdy is what we call it.
My bad. It was very uncivilized of me.
But see, there's a sense of humor even in Shakespeare that you might not expect in watching some of the interactions between the guys who are teasing each other, and how they're talking about romance, and that there are other fish in the sea, and girls to pursue, and the husband and wife have some jibes at each other. So it's not all tragedy in Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare, a very engaging, entertaining production, I'd say, for all ages, and for date night even. February 25th was when it opened, but it is on now through March 30th at Wilson Theater at Vogel Hall at Marcus Performing Arts Center, while the Milwaukee Rep continues to go through their renovations in their historic building. I'm Sandy Maxx. Even though we're not yet smelling flowers and sneezing in the pollen, today is the vernal equinox, the first official day of spring. Lots of people use it as a time, for a mental reset. This is the season of renewal, rebirth, new beginnings. Celebrate spring with the song you need to hear. The dynamic duo known as Black Violin have a modern version of a Baroque classic. Turn it up next on What's on Tap.
Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live is back. March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis Adetokunbo for a live show that's sure to entertain like none other. Last year, it was a surprise appearance from ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. You never know what Thanasis has planned for 2025. Get your tickets to Thanalysis Live right now. Visit ESPN Milwaukee on Twitter for event and ticket info. It's Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Carbless. Also supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's. AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. With the trending spring and summer European travel season, Fox European experts mean you can maximize your time soaking up the warm weather, blooming flowers, and vibrant landscapes without worrying about your travel or missing a moment. Port hop along the Mediterranean with Celebrity or Holland America, or design your own bucket list adventure with Globus. Visit us online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Your European immersion awaits.
Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ. And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
Celebrating this first day of spring with a fresh take on a classical song. If you've never heard the duo Black Violin before, you're in for a treat. They were a Summerfest discovery for me several years ago. Kev Marcus on violin, Will B on viola. They play strings impeccably, yet also with soul. Black Violin puts some swagger on this version of Spring by the famous Italian composer Antonino Vivaldi. Time to turn up Vivaldi Spring by Black Violin, the song you need to hear on What's on Tap.
WTMJ, W27CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Brew City is ready to celebrate the draft's return to Wisconsin. Milwaukee Tailgate Week, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook, April 24th through the 26th. It features a variety of gridiron activations for all ages, steeped in Milwaukee's iconic sports history, its attractions, brews, pubs, restaurants, and venues. The festivities culminate on Saturday, April 26th with Jordy Nelson's Milwaukee Tailgate with Inside the Huddle Live. Buy your tickets now for only $10 and learn more at visitmilwaukee.org/tailgate.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place. By pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit froedtert.com/cancer.
Hey, March Madness is here. Now, technically, I can't say March Madness, but I can say this. Our coverage of the tournament will be fantastic. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Keep it tuned to WTMJ for all the updates you need on the tournament. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. During every sports update, you'll know about every buzzer beater, every upset, the Cinderella stories, and how the state teams are doing throughout the entire tournament. It's the college basketball tournament, not March Madness. Update sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 7 o'clock, it's 38 degrees. Tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 31. Friday, cloudy and breezy, a chance for showers towards the evening, a high of 54. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Gatso. A federal jury is deadlocked over whether a former Wauwatosa police officer used excessive force when he shot and killed a teenager outside Mayfair Mall in 2020. Joseph Menza shot and killed 17-year-old Alvin Cole during a foot chase, the third time he killed a person of color in the span of 5 years. After the Milwaukee County District Attorney did not pursue charges against Menza, Cole's family filed a civil rights lawsuit, alleging the officer used excessive force and the department promoted racism. Menza resigned from the department in 2020 and was hired at Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. A retrial is scheduled for September 8th. Slenderman attacker Morgan Geyser will need to wait a bit longer for conditional release. A hearing scheduled for tomorrow has been postponed to April 28th. Wisconsin Community Services is still working on her conditional release plan, which will transition her from Winnebago Mental Health Institute to a group home. Geyser has lived at the Health Institute since 2017 after she was found not guilty by reason of mental defect in the stabbing of her 12-year-old friend Peyton Leitner. A man has been declared AWOL from the Dane County Jail Diversion Program. Anthony Gilbert was last seen Wednesday afternoon near Mallard Lane on Madison's northeast side. Gilbert is serving a sentence for obstruction and possession of methamphetamine. A warrant is out for his arrest. A new bill to fund the federal government will cut millions from Wisconsin projects.
The spending bill targets projects secured by both Republicans and Democrats. And the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says in total, Wisconsin would lose more than $250 million. The cuts include a wastewater treatment plant in Prairie du Chien and National Guard readiness centers in Wausau and in Wisconsin Rapids. Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
CBS News has obtained the internal government list of all the men who were placed on deportation flights to a Salvadoran prison. Lawyers for the men say they're being denied due process and risk being locked up for life. Nancy Cords spoke with a mother who found out her husband, an asylum seeker, was on one of those planes.
There's no public evidence right now that he is a gang member. And tonight, a U.S. district judge is expressing frustration that U.S. officials are withholding information from him as well. He said the 6-paragraph filing they submitted today was, quote, woefully insufficient, and that the government has evaded its obligations to answer his questions about these deportation flights.
Trump officials refused to release the list, saying the men are dangerous terrorists. A former NFL and college football coach is facing federal charges for allegedly hacking into the social media accounts of female student athletes to obtain intimate photos. Details from ABC's Trevor Ault.
According to the 24-count indictment, Matt Weiss was able to hack into the databases of more than 100 colleges and universities and crack the encryption protecting the passwords, assisted by research that he did on the internet. He allegedly gained access to the personal information of more than 150,000 students, and using that gained access into social media, email, and cloud storage accounts.
Investigators say he downloaded intimate photos and took notes commenting on their bodies and sexual preferences. Marquette players are in Cleveland gearing up for a highly anticipated matchup in the NCAA tournament. Head coach Shaka Smarts tells WTMJ what he expects out of every player.
Our definition of leadership is to make those around you better. So if there's anyone that we don't hold to that standard, then why are they here? We all need to be making each other better, starting with the coaching staff and going through all the players.
The Golden Eagles will take on New Mexico State Friday at 6:25 p.m. Sports traffic and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 7:04.
For their accounts payable workflow, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin implemented a document management and workflow automation solution from James Imaging Systems. Junior Achievement Vice President of Enterprise Services, Lori Salzman, highlights the positive impact.
That impact has made it much more streamlined for us to handle the entire process from receiving an invoice to having it paid.
How has streamlining your accounts payable workflow benefited Junior Achievement's mission?
It has allowed us to be more on mission and strategically reach out and expand our impact to be able to reach more students.
If others are looking for workflow automation solutions to better serve their clients or customers, what's your suggestion?
If anybody is looking for a good partner that is there to help find solutions, call James Imaging.
Content management and workflow automation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different.
And special.
And loaded with personality.
And one more thing. But you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
And don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gerber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks are looking for a win in their Western road trip. Tonight they face the Lakers. Our coverage starts at 9 p.m. right here on WTMJ. And brackets start to get busted today during the college men's basketball tournament. The Wisconsin Badgers beat the Montana Grizzlies 85-66 in the first round. They're back on Saturday against BYU or VCU. Marquette takes the floor Friday night at 6:25 against New Mexico in Cleveland. Fiserv Forum is one of the host sites for the first two rounds, with games on Friday and Sunday in Milwaukee. Tournament updates are brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. All clear on the roads this evening, no incidents and no delays. And time for the WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a low of 31 degrees. On Friday, cloudy and breezy, a chance for showers towards the evening, a high of 54. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 40. On Sunday, rain and snow mix is likely, a high of 43. On Monday, mostly cloudy skies, windy and snow showers, a high of 40. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 38 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:08.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Maxx.
In this hour of What's on Tap, I'm here to help, and I'm confident that you'll feel smarter after listening. Spring break. What is there to do? Well, lots if you look around at your local libraries. And that's good for all ages. I have a special guest to enlighten us about what an incredible and sometimes unexpected resource libraries can be for more than books.
My name is Deb Merritt, and I am the Public Information Coordinator for the Milwaukee County Federated Library System.
Ooh, that sounds like a big job.
It's a fun job. I work to support all of the public libraries in Milwaukee County. Basically, my job is to tell everyone how great libraries are.
And I'm going to tell you, I think a lot of us know that libraries are great.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I've been a lifelong card carrier. I used to go every Saturday afternoon with my mom after ballet class. We would spend the whole afternoon at the Louisville Public Library.
Yeah.
So it's a place that's a sentimental favorite, and you can never be bored in a library. There's a book on everything, and now DVDs and CDs. So one of the things, as much as I love libraries, even I forget how useful they can be because I've been going through the Mad Men DVD series, but my DVD series ends at season 5, and there are 2 more seasons, and I'm like, I could go to Half Price Books. Maybe I could just ask around who still has DVDs. And one of my very best friends said, the Tosa Library has a great DVD collection. You should search on the catalog. Sure enough, I did. So I will be reserving Mad Men 6 next month. This is a really good push.
This is our time to really remind people, like you said, all of the resources that the library card gets you, all for free. So it goes way beyond books and DVDs, like you said. We have online courses. We have ebooks and audiobooks for you to borrow. We have all kinds of actual physical things to borrow, like games and puzzles, toys, all kinds of things that you would never even believe we have for you. Milwaukee County has 27 public libraries, so there's one in your community. And if you're in the city of Milwaukee, there is one probably within 5 miles of you. So what we like people to do is go to the website findmylibrary.org, and you'll pull up a map that will show you where the closest library is to you.
And then you also have a very robust website because you can search, and one of the first things that you see, it's literally called the Library of Things.
The Library of Things. Isn't that great?
Because I knew that you could borrow art. So, for example,
some of the libraries let you take home a picture to hang on your wall.
And you can, in Wauwatosa, you can do that.
Yep.
And you can renew it. So you can borrow art for 6 weeks and you can renew it twice. So I think for a lot of people we hear a lot about inflation, we hear a lot about stretching your dollar, and also for entertainment, people have streaming services. If you think about it, you could decorate your home for a season with fresh art, or maybe one of your favorite artists or a local artist. I love that concept of freshening your home, and you simply borrowed it from the library.
Yeah, and then you bring it back and then you get something else too.
Yeah.
So you can keep changing it out.
So before we get into the Library of Things, because it is so many categories and it is great for adults who keep wanting to learn, whether it's an ebook you have time for instead of reading at night, make it convenient, but also back to school time. So the Library of Things can be good for all ages. So I want to get into that, but I also want to ask you first, why the library? Why do you work there?
I've been at the library for 3 years now, and before that, my career was in corporate marketing. And so I really distinctly remember a day sitting at my desk and thinking, was I put on this earth to design hairdryer boxes? And that really started a shift in my mindset and what I started to look for in my job. So I was really looking for a mission-driven organization where I could be giving back and contributing something. And this particular job fits that to a T, and I love it.
Sure, because you get to spread the good word of what libraries do. And the other thing that I want to talk about after we get into the Library of Things and fascinate everyone listening with what you can borrow that can really empower you in a lot of ways, whether it's even home improvement and entertaining. But you yourself are an artist, and that's how we met. So
That's right.
I wanted to share your artistry with people, not just designing hairdryer boxes. You do even more. More with Deb Merritt from
the Milwaukee County Federated Library System.
So stay with us because Deb and I are going to let you know all the different things that you can borrow from the library, from a bubble machine to a juggling kit, metal detector, and all kinds of real technology that can help you as an adult and as a school kid. So stay with us on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today. He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed, but we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys had been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
You're going to get a free furnace from Quality. No gimmick. You'll get a free furnace. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace. And this heat pump is not only going to give you 2 sources of heat and a backup, but also the heat pump will act as an AC system to cool your home as well. It's extremely efficient. I have a heat pump in my own home, and this I know. Your heat pump will cut your energy bills substantially. You'll be getting a top-of-the-line heat pump system and a free furnace. And you'll save thousands plus qualifying government incentives. So now, through March 31st, you'll get a heck of a deal from Quality. This is the only time of the year we can do this. So call Quality, and let's get you taken care of. Get your free furnace and upgrade your home's HVAC system to absolute max efficiency. Buy a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace through March 31st.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Wisconsin winters are unpredictable.
This is history. Never had a tornado touchdown in February.
We keep you updated on blizzards.
Winter storm warning has been issued for all of southeast Wisconsin, and it's going to get really, really dicey.
Blackouts.
Tens of thousands of customers across southeast Wisconsin are without power this morning.
Icy roads.
Very, very slick conditions pretty much everywhere.
And more. With WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and at WTMJ.com. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
I'm Sandy Maxx with a special guest from the Milwaukee County Federated Library System. Deb Merritt is here with me. She's the Public Information Officer.
So we want to get the word out for anyone who doesn't have a library card yet that you're going to want to come in and get that card and all the resources that are going to be available to you once you have it.
When you say all the resources, obviously we think of books. Good old hardback, good old paperback. But there's so much more. E-books, CDs, DVDs.
That's right.
Online courses. You have a whole world of entertainment and education at your fingertips at your local library.
Absolutely. We offer pretty much any type of resource that someone might need for education, like you said, and entertainment. And it goes so far beyond the books that we want to make sure that everyone has something that they can use from the library.
You can borrow a microscope from the library. I went to the website because you and I had chatted about unexpected items for checkout, and it's literally called the Library of Things.
That's right.
And it's a really easy to read graph, tells you what you can borrow, what library, how long the loan period is, and if you can renew it. So you can borrow a bubble machine, you can borrow a karaoke machine and have a great party. You can really have fun.
That's right.
But you can also borrow, if you like to go outdoors, binoculars. A metal detector for fun.
And a lot of this is things that, you know, if you had to go out and buy it, you might use it a couple of times and find out either you don't really care for it or you just don't, you know, things get set aside. And this way you can still have all that fun and it won't cost you a penny.
And home improvement, which can be very intimidating. Not only can you borrow the books that can help you with those projects, but there's also home improvement equipment.
We have a lot of tools that are available for you to borrow.
A stud finder, a cordless drill, a tile cutter, a wrench set, which is really empowering for a college student, someone who's just out on their own for the first time,
right?
First-time homeowners.
And again, this is the kind of thing you need it once for a project. And so you don't have to put in all that money and invest into all of that equipment that you're not going to need again.
And back to school time, if you can build some excitement around education,
yes,
your local library can do that. And then another fascinating thing to me that I never knew, you can borrow Milwaukee attraction passes?
Absolutely. This is one of the most popular things that we have for people.
What a way to stretch your dollar.
Yeah, you can go to the art museum, the zoo, the Discovery World, the domes. There are so many places. A family of 4. It's not just one ticket, and very often includes the parking as well.
Betty Brinn, Berner Botanical Gardens.
Harley-Davidson Museum.
This is a massive resource, again, as we're trying to stretch our dollar in inflation times, and we just like a deal around Milwaukee.
Right.
Let's just be honest. Wisconsinites love a bargain. So for the more fun for the kids, you can even borrow Nintendo gaming consoles.
Yes, you can. One of our libraries, in fact, has a gaming room where you can come with your friends and play right there.
Which library is that?
That is Oak Creek.
This is another thing I like Boy, I'd like to learn how to crochet.
Yep.
You can borrow crochet kits, knitting needles to try it out rather than making that outlay of cash and then going, oh, this is not for me. A juggling kit. I mean, I'm telling you, don't think of the library as being stuffy. You probably still need to be quiet. Probably shouldn't be hooting and hollering in a library.
You might be surprised how much of the noise level has changed at libraries. They
Really?
are very popular, especially after school. We got a lot of kids coming in for a lot of programs. And while a lot of libraries have a quiet area, you no longer have to tiptoe around the library.
Interesting. So it really is becoming more of a community hub.
Definitely.
The technology you can borrow in the category of library of things at our Milwaukee County library system, Chromebooks.
Yes.
Who uses Chromebooks?
Chromebooks, students mostly.
That's what I thought.
It's kind of like a entry-level laptop. So it's something they can use. They can borrow a hotspot so that if they don't have Wi-Fi wherever they are, that gives them access to that. There are also things like the equipment that will take your VHS tapes and turn them into DVDs so that you don't have to throw all those lovely movies away that you spent money for or repurchase them.
Well, and I looked even more into these converters that you can borrow from the library. Cassette to MP3, VHS to DVD. You can even borrow video cameras, like a GoPro. You can borrow a green screen. You can even, if you're
make
doing
your own movies.
Yeah, and if you're doing a presentation or want to have a party at your house and borrow a projector and a screen.
Projector and show a movie out in your backyard.
This really was fun to browse the library of things.
It really opens up the whole world.
What's the website that you recommend people go to?
We're going to have you start at findmylibrary.org. And that's going to have all of the links to all of our libraries in Milwaukee County. And I also want to point out that once you have a library card, you can go to any of our Milwaukee County libraries. You don't only have to use the one that you got your card at. So all of that programming, all of their resources are available to everybody.
That's wonderful. And it's really convenient because you can ask for something and have it delivered to the library that's closer to you.
Some of the things that are in the library of things, you do have to go to that library to pick it up.
Another thing, Deb, that makes me think when we just talked about the technology, the cassette to MP3, the VHS to digital or DVD, you're discovering and rediscovering your own personal library. Because if you're holding on to DVDs and VHS cassettes, it's decades.
Yeah. I don't even
like
own
you
a
said,
cassette player anymore.
Yeah, I do, but it's broken and I haven't taken it. But it's an effort to look up who fixes this kind of machinery now, and it would be much more efficient and economic to borrow a cassette to MP3 player and borrow it for a week. And home movies, what a gift to your family if you borrow a VHS to DVD or VHS to digital machine at the library and give those as gifts.
That's right. That's a really meaningful thing that people are going to want to hold on to.
Wow. Yeah. Your library is a great space, Deb. Library is not the only thing that Deb Merritt knows.
That is true.
She is an artist, and we're going to talk about her beautiful portrait artistry and more next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
So if you're already in a relationship with an auto service center, that's great. We hope things keep firing on all cylinders.
But if you're not in a relationship, why not book your next date with us at Richlands the next time you're due for service?
All of our locations are AAA approved and staffed by ASC certified technicians with PhDs in
We can fix anything! Put that on top of the friendliest, hardest working staff you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center.
And you've got yourself a rock-solid date.
The next time you're due for factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service,
book your date at richlands.com.
Or just Google us. But remember, Richlands is spelled with 2 N's.
And oh yeah, be safe, buckle up, and hey,
always make sure you have good tread on your tires. I'm Courtney Matchkey with Richlands, and you're due for a date.
Clever.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. by having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. With the trending spring and summer European travel season, Fox European experts mean you can maximize your time soaking up the warm weather, blooming flowers, and vibrant landscapes without worrying about your travel or missing a moment. Port hop along the Mediterranean with Viking or Princess, or design your own bucket list adventure with Insight Vacations. Visit us online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Your European immersion awaits.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
I'm Sandy Maxx, and here on What's on Tap, we have been talking about all the wonderful discoveries of fascinating things that you can borrow at all the different public libraries in Milwaukee County. And no matter what age you are, you can enjoy a library. So I highly encourage you to look into whatever library system is near you. If you're not in Milwaukee County, you just might be surprised. But Deb Merritt from Milwaukee County Federated Library System has been regaling us with her knowledge. But I am thrilled to tell everyone that I got to meet you in a completely different way in 2018.
That's right.
I met you through your artwork. We featured you on Milwaukee PBS's The Arts Page show.
That's right.
When you were doing portraits.
I was doing a show called Famous at the time, and that particular show was a collection of portraits who I painted of people who were important to me. And so I was trying to redefine the idea of famous, of making that into somebody who's done something important or impactful with their life, not necessarily just someone who managed to get themselves in front of a camera.
What's one of the paintings that you can describe that you're most proud of right now that you think represents your artwork?
There's a painting that is called Masquerade, and it's a picture of a woman holding a group of balloons, and the balloons have floated around her face to the point where she's just looking through the middle of them all, and really all you see is her eyes. And so the balloons in the painting are filled with water, and there are Siamese fighting fish in each of the balloons. And this series of paintings that I'm working on is called Fragile, and the whole theme is collective fragility and collective states of safety that are tenuous. So a fish in a balloon is a whimsical, surreal, fun sort of thing to look at. But if you think about it, if that balloon pops, he's not so safe anymore.
Yeah.
So his state of safety is fragile. And so the picture of her with the fighting fish around and the balloons forming a mask around her face happened right at the time of the pandemic when people wearing masks was kind of controversial. And the balloons formed a mask for her, and I put the fighting fish around her because this was a controversy swirling around something that was very important to a lot of us.
What interesting description to hear the symbolism. And then I would also say, I have always heard that painting water in particular is a challenge.
It is. And I
and
had
water
no
inside of a
reference.
balloon.
Yeah, I didn't really have a reference because I can't put a fish inside of a balloon to paint it, right? So I have to make that part up. But it's a lot of fun. And I am now the person who goes to pet stores and takes pictures of all the fish in their tanks. And people wonder what I'm up to. But I have quite a collection of fish pictures now because I've been working on this for a while.
And what are you working on next?
I have a couple of images in mind. I'm actually going to do another photo shoot soon. And the next one, I think, is going to be referencing the story of Little Red Riding Hood. In my paintings, I often am drawing inspiration from fairy tales, literature, songs. You'll see a lot of stuff in my painting titles that reference that as well. And so she's going to be, in my mind at the moment, right, she's going to be in the woods, dressed in white, but a red cape hanging somewhere nearby. And she's going to be holding an umbrella. I think it's going to be raining, and she's going to be holding an umbrella over a little plant, but the umbrella is going to be broken and have no fabric to it anymore. So it's just going to be the ribs of the umbrella. So it's going to be sort of a sad theme where she's trying to protect something but isn't able to protect it as much as she would like to.
What a creative expression.
Thank you.
You have. It's wonderful. I love hearing this description, and I think other people do too. How can we see the artwork that you're creating?
I have a website, and it's just my name. It's debmerritt.com, and I'll spell that for you. So Deb is like D-E-B, like everyone knows, and then Merritt is M-A-R-E-T-T, one R and two T's, and it's .com, and there's all kinds of images there for you to see.
Excellent. Do you have any plans to showcase publicly?
Once this collection is finished, I will have a solo show for it. And actually, I will probably have one at one of our libraries because most people don't know, like we've been talking about, most libraries in Milwaukee County also have an art gallery and they showcase local artists' work. So that will probably be one of the places that my work will show up.
Deb, what an expert way to tie our entire conversation together. Thank you so much for being here on What's on Tap, for sharing really what's wonderful about the library. I hope it has reignited some people's excitement for the library and gets people there. And I highly recommend, even if you're not in Milwaukee County, look into what your public library offers.
Absolutely. There's so much energy around all libraries right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Deb's not kidding. That energy in libraries is in full swing for the next couple of months because of a fun scavenger hunt for all ages, the Great Library Treasure Hunt at all 27 of the Milwaukee County libraries. It's good timing for students on spring break and those looking after those students. Find out about the fun you can have exploring different parts of your local library and what can you win. Those details are next on What's on Tap.
Are you over 18 years old, over 280 pounds, and interested in participating in a clinical research study? If so, you may be eligible to participate in a research study involving MRI scanning. You may qualify to participate if you are 18 years of age or older and not employed by GE Healthcare, are able to hear and understand English, are over 280 pounds, are not pregnant, do not have any tattoos or permanent makeup, have no implants with the exception of permanent orthodontic retainers and breast implants. Pierre O'Godden is a principal investigator for the study being held at 3200 North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Study scans are investigational, and the use of these devices has not been cleared by the FDA. The study is not being performed for diagnostic purposes and is not intended to replace your medical care. Your appointment will last up to 4 hours, and for your time and travel to GE Healthcare in Waukesha, you'll be offered a gift card valued at $80 per appointment at GE Healthcare's MRI facility. To learn more, please call GE Healthcare at 262-312-7855. Again, that's 262-312-7855.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, March Madness is here. Now, technically, I can't say March Madness, but I can say this. Our coverage of the tournament will be fantastic. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Keep it tuned to WTMJ for all the updates you need on the tournament. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. During every sports update, you'll know about every buzzer beater, every upset, the Cinderella stories, and how the state teams are doing throughout the entire tournament. It's the college basketball tournament, not March Madness. Update sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx on WTMJ.
The Great Library Treasure Hunt is coming. And to tell us about the fun, please welcome to What's on Tap, Milwaukee County Federated Library System Public Information Coordinator, Deb Merritt. Hi, Deb.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my gosh, my pleasure. And Deb is also an artist. So once we find out about all the fabulous library details, I want to find out what creative projects you have personally planned for 2025. But first, I feel like I have to get out my magnifying glass, my map, the Great Library Treasure Hunt. What is it?
Yeah, this is a new program. We're so excited. This is a program that is going to get everybody to come out to all the libraries in Milwaukee County. We have 27 public libraries in the county, and most people just go to the one that is closest to their house or maybe their office, but they may not realize all the incredible spaces and things that all the other locations have. So this is a game that you can play. Anyone in Milwaukee can play. You're going to go to any public library and pick up a map. And I'm going to show that to the people here for our blog.
On our YouTube live stream. There it is.
Yeah.
It's colorful.
Yeah. And all the libraries are marked. So you're going to go to a library, and the first thing you're going to do is actually take a lap, and you're going to just look around, and you're going to find something cool that you love about that library. That's your treasure. You're going to write that on the map and take it to the librarian, and they're going to stamp the map for you to show that you've been to that location.
So we're going to find out what your favorite thing is about each library.
Exactly. And that's going to help you remember for when you may want to go back and do something there. And then for every 9 libraries you go to, you fill out an entry form, and you get put into a drawing for prizes at the end of the contest.
And we always like prizes.
Right.
We always like prizes. Well, so we've got the map.
Yeah.
Is there also a map online?
There are actually, you can go to www.librarytreasurehunt.com. All the information about the game is there. And what you can find there is routes. We've got clusters of libraries that will show you the little maps for you to go. You can take a half a day, make a day of it on a Saturday, and hit, 5 libraries in one shot.
Take
and
a little
get
trail.
all those stamps put together and make it easy for you.
See, you are a kindred spirit, because I am one of those 27. I wanted to do them all in one day, and then I get overwhelmed and upset. This is a whole, New Year's resolution thing where you bite off more than you can chew. But you're right, with 27 different libraries in our area, plus you have until May 3rd.
Exactly. We wanted to give everybody time to just, leisurely do this too and enjoy it, because that's the whole point.
It's great for families because we've got the school year going on through, that May 3rd date.
Exactly.
But one of my favorite conversations of 2024 here on What's on Tap, Deb, was with you last fall, because September was Get Your Library Card Month.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, did I enjoy that conversation about all the items, all the unusual things that you can borrow from the library. So I won't go down that wormhole now, but I highly recommend going back to the What's on Tap podcast, because that was so much fun. Button makers, bubble machines, knitting needles so you can try a hobby without having to invest in all, power tools, it was home improvement. So much that is a resource for your library. Mm-hmm. What are some other things that you think people are going to discover about libraries?
Yeah, so one of the things we want to do is we want people to realize that the library isn't just about the stuff you can get there. It's about the place itself, the architecture and the features that the libraries themselves have where you can just go and enjoy. It's a community hub where you can spend time with your family or just come there to work for a while and not have to spend any money at all. So we've got libraries with art galleries and maker spaces with things like 3D printers and crafting spaces that people can use. In the summer, we have gardens and story paths. There are fireplaces where you can come and sit and be cozy and read.
That paints a perfect picture.
I know, it's amazing. People just can't even believe all this stuff. When we post pictures online, everybody just freaks out because they had no idea, and so that's what we want you to discover. Come through the doors and see these places that we have for you.
Because it's interesting, we joked about this last September too, is that the library has evolved so much in the decades where it's a shh, shh, shh.
Right.
It's not that space
not that at all anymore. Yeah, not at all.
It's a place to gather and you can have conversations and play games and discuss books.
Yes, we've got a library with a video gaming room. Like, bring your friends and make a day.
Which library is that?
That's Oak Creek, actually.
A video gaming room.
Yeah,
because I'm sure some people's ears just perked up for that.
You got to reserve it. You got to call them. But yeah.
But to your point, it is free. The library card is free. I mean, in this day and age, to have such a resource that costs you nothing is immense. And especially when people are talking about inflation and childcare. Now, I'm not suggesting go take your child at but just when you're trying to manage entertainment and finances and also stimulation and be entertained and also educated.
Exactly.
Boy, is the library a great solution.
Got so much for you. Absolutely. All the programming, and it's not just for kids, it's for adults too.
We're going to find out about the prizes, and there's also I'd say a collectible that's involved in the Great Library Treasure Hunt. Yes. Stay with me. And Deb Merritt, next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
You're going to get a free furnace from Quality. No gimmick. You'll get a free furnace. This is Anthony Zanevsky. All you have to do is purchase a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace. And this heat pump is not only going to give you 2 sources of heat and a backup, but also the heat pump will act as an AC system to cool your home as well. It's extremely efficient. I have a heat pump in my own home, and this I know. Your heat pump will cut your energy bills substantially. You'll be getting a top-of-the-line heat pump system and a free furnace. And you'll save thousands plus qualifying government incentives. So now, through March 31st, you'll get a heck of a deal from Quality. This is the only time of the year we can do this. So call Quality, and let's get you taken care of. Get your free furnace and upgrade your home's HVAC system to absolute max efficiency. Buy a heat pump from Quality, and you'll get a free furnace through March 31st.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
It's like being trapped in a cage. And I know, that sounds dramatic, but your breathing triangle problem has got you trapped. And once you're freed, you're going to be able to live the life that you're missing out on. Now, this can simply mean experiencing the true pleasure of breathing freely. It will mean better sleep and more energy. And the worry of this problem any more affecting your life is going to be gone. Because in almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it's a one and done. Because we're not in the business of delivering Band-Aids. We want to fix your nasal breathing problem for good. We don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
Isn't it time you break free from that cage? Take the next step. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx.
Thanks for joining me on What's on Tap, sponsored by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class. Discover more at visitmilwaukee.org. I'm Sandy Maxx. On Saturday afternoons as a kid, after my dance class, my mom and I would regularly go to the downtown library after lunch and spend hours browsing books together. I feel like maybe I should get back into that habit a little more often because libraries have evolved from strict, shushing places into much more communal and interactive spaces. Plus, there's a fun activity going on that everyone is invited to take part in, the Great Library Treasure Hunt. Deb Merritt, the Public Information Coordinator at Milwaukee County Federated Library System, is my guest. Deb, in one sentence, how do you describe it?
An opportunity for you to see all the incredible things our libraries give you when you walk through the doors.
You can pick up your treasure hunt map at any of the 27 libraries. That still just sounds like a lot to me. It's wonderful, but 27 libraries in the Milwaukee County Federated Library System. You get that map, and you have until May 3rd to complete the scavenger hunt. But there's one incentive to not delay, but we'll get to that. First, I want to know what the prizes are, because you can win prizes if you get 9 libraries visited, 18 libraries visited, or super achiever, all 27. What are we hunting? What's our incentive?
Yeah, so for every 9 libraries you go to, you get 1 entry into the prize drawing. And the prizes, we're drawing 5 names, and they will each receive a $100 Visa gift card. And if you go to all 27 libraries, you get 2 extra entries into that. Plus, you get a golden ticket entry for the grand prize drawing, which is a $250 Visa gift card.
We like cash.
Everybody likes
money
cash,
spent.
right?
Exactly. You can do whatever you want with. That's lovely, and that's not. That's a manageable amount of money.
Doable.
So if a kid wins,
man,
that's big bank.
Yeah. I also wanted to tell you that, because a lot of families are going to do this and all the kids are going to love it. Everybody gets their own map in the family. You don't have to just share a map per family. Every kid gets a map. Every kid has a chance to win.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's thoughtful.
Yeah.
And we all know how that is.
That's way more fun.
You got to share all the time.
That,
I was just going to say, as siblings, you got to share all the time. You get to do your own thing.
That's right.
And this is also fun, I think, also for, book clubs, the gatherings of adults who enjoy reading and kind of haven't had a chance to get together. This would be fun.
Really fun friends group activity.
I am a big fan of the bonus contest. The collectible water bottle stickers, but this is the don't dilly-dally till May 3rd. This is jump on it. Tell us about the Great Library Treasure Hunt collectible waterproof stickers.
Yeah, so for an extra fun bonus game, each library location has 100 water bottle stickers that has their logo on it. So as you go to those locations, you can get that water bottle sticker. But there are only 100 per location. So you've got to get in there pretty fast in order to see if you can collect all 27. You can put them on your own water bottle. You can put them on the map. You can put them on your own stuff. Or if you want to really go for it, you can order a custom water bottle that's for Milwaukee County Libraries that has little squares for each of those stickers to go onto, so you can get the whole shebang there.
Ooh, what a pride point.
Yeah.
What a pride point. How did you get involved in the library system in the first place?
I've been there for 3.5 years now. Honestly, I lost my job when the pandemic started, so I had been kind of freelancing and doing some tutoring work. And a friend of mine told me about this job opening that they had here at the library. And so I sent in my application and went from there. So it wasn't even on my radar, but it's been just the best job I think I've ever had.
I would say the way you speak of it, I thought you were going to say, I went to school to be a librarian. I live and breathe libraries. But it's a great fit for you.
It's a great fit. It's fulfilling. It's important work. I actually studied writing when I was in college, so definitely my love of literature is a big part of it too.
And why do you think it's important for people to come to the library?
Well, libraries, not everybody knows, libraries are funded a couple different ways, but they get a large part of their budgets from the cities that they're in. So, and a lot of that is tied to usage. So they keep track of people who come through the doors, how many books get checked out, all the numbers. They have to report that every year. So, we often get questions about, how can I help my library? What can we do? Come to the library. Honestly, that is a huge part of how libraries keep operating, is that we show how important we are to our communities. You can also reach out to your local legislators and elected officials and just send them a note and tell them why the library is important to you. And that goes a really long way when it comes to budgets.
Interesting that communication is effective.
It's very important.
Because I think a lot of people just glossed over and say, reach out to your legislators. Say, yeah, I'd rather go to the library and check out a book if that's going to, move the needle. But it is nice to hear that you've seen the results of people communicating with lawmakers.
Absolutely. We actually have a special day every year where we librarians go to Madison and talk with our legislators there. And most of the time what we bring them is testimonials from our patrons to just show them the impact that the libraries are making.
You got to take them a treasure map this time.
Yeah.
Talking with Deb Merritt from the Milwaukee County Federated Library System. She's the Public Information Coordinator. Deb, tell us where to get the treasure hunt map so we can get started on Saturday.
To get the map, you just have to go to any public library in Milwaukee County, and we have an easy way for you to find the closest library to you. If you don't know, we have a website that is findmylibrary.org. And if you go to that, you'll get a listing of every library in the county and how to get there.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
So hopefully get more people in libraries. And like you said, truly discovering, because I was last at the Mitchell Street Library in 2020, the beginning of 2020. And
it's
they
an
had just
amazing
remodeled and big atrium type style windows and really great communal spaces. Yeah.
They've got an incredible makerspace at that location. Yeah.
So you can discover for yourself and be impressed like you hear in my voice. But,
right?
Findmylibrary.org. And if you just want to jump right to the chase and go to librarytreasurehunt.com and see that map. Deb Merritt, I want to find out what you have planned as an artist when you're not at the library. That's next on What's on Tap on WTMJ.
Wisconsin winters are unpredictable.
This is history. Never had a tornado touchdown in February.
We keep you updated on blizzards.
Winter storm warning has been issued for all of southeast Wisconsin, and it's going to get really, really dicey.
Blackouts.
Tens of thousands of customers across southeast Wisconsin are without power this morning.
Icy roads.
Very, very slick conditions pretty much everywhere.
And more. With WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and at WTMJ.com.
We've all experienced that feeling of lacing up a brand new pair of shoes.
And for some reason, it always felt like new shoes made you run faster, jump higher, and of course, look better.
Yeah, it was almost magical.
A brand new set of tires on your car or truck will instantly give you that same magical feeling.
Courtney, I couldn't agree with you more. A new set of treads always makes your vehicle look better, but more importantly, allows you to stop faster and grip the road a whole lot better.
Which is necessary when the weather is bad and driving conditions are poor. You'll appreciate having the extra traction.
Remember, there isn't a tire brand on the planet we can't get.
Everything from Goodyear Continental and Kelly to Dunlop General and Pirelli. If we sell it, we install it.
Plus, every tire we sell automatically comes with free flat tire repair. So be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
What's on Tap with Sandy Maxx is back on WTMJ.
The great library treasure hunt at your Milwaukee County libraries. 27 to explore and win prizes.
Absolutely. all about the money, you know.
Sometimes, and a little incentive, but it's about the experience. Just because for a lot of people who haven't had the don't feel like they've had the time to go back into the library, and boy, it's a wealth of stimulation. Whether it's a new book that catches your eye, or if you still have a CD player, borrow a CD, DVD. Like there's
music, all kinds of
puzzles,
music and movies and puzzles and games, all kinds of stuff you can get.
Findmylibrary.org. Find one of the 27 Milwaukee County libraries near you. If you're not in Milwaukee County, come visit. And if you're not in Milwaukee County, find a library near you.
That's right.
And indulge in books and entertainment.
Yes.
We encourage that. Deb Merritt is who I am enjoying in the studio. Milwaukee County Federated Library System Public Information Coordinator. That is the voice that you hear. And Deb is also an artist. So I wanted to ask just a couple minutes here. What do you have coming up in 2025 as an artist?
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm a painter, mostly figurative work. And actually, speaking of libraries and special things, I actually currently have a solo show up at the Cudahy Library, which is my current series that I'm working on that is called Fragile. And so you can come and see all those paintings. There's little cards to tell you about what they are and what inspired me. And I think you might enjoy that.
And I met you when you were doing really specifically portrait paintings. So it's fun to see how your artwork has evolved, still incorporating portraits, but becoming even more imaginative. And you're teaching some art, it seems.
I am in September, which is the 19th through the 21st, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to be teaching a class at Shake Rag Alley, which is in Mineral Point, a beautiful town if you've never been there. And that class, I'm going to be teaching how to create a watercolor travel journal, because we all have a million pictures on our phones from our travels that we never look at once we get home again. So we're going to be taking people's pictures and taking a watercolor travel journal book and teaching you get comfortable with watercolor paints, a little bit of drawing technique, and then you're going to start creating from your own travel pictures. You're going to start creating a keepsake book from all of your treasures to make a souvenir book for yourself.
Wow, Deb, what a great point of all of us taking photos and then having them. We want to have them, but do we look at them?
Right.
So what a great excuse to go back through your photos and then create art out of them. Anything else you got going in 2025?
Nothing specific right now. I'm just going to be continuing to work on my Fragile series and some other things as well, but I don't have any particular shows lined up that I have dates for just yet.
And your website to keep track of the cool watercolor retreat, it sounds like, in Mineral Point.
It is. It's www.debmerritt.com, and it's DEB, and my last name is MARETT.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you as a local artist, but also as a library ambassador. So
Come
thank
to
you
the library.
very much. The great library treasure hunt. Remember, you can share this info with a friend, with a family member who may be looking at the challenge of looking after some young ones during spring break and trying to figure out something fun and free and different to do. Scavenger hunt would be a lot of fun. You can always find the WTMJ What's on Tap podcast on our website, WTMJ.com. You can also find it on the WTMJ app, or wherever you listen to podcasts, just search WTMJ What's on Tap. And you can hear the full shows. You can hear individual interviews, especially this past week where we had so many theater season announcements. You can get completely caught up in one place. And again, it's shareable. So if you hear something about a show or a concert you want to go to, you could just share that link with a friend and say, hey, does this sound cool to you? Let's go. So here to help you make the most of your entertainment and cultural worlds, use the podcast for that. And also I want to remind you, speaking of cultural and entertainment, remember, if you want information on my special European brewery tour that's coming up in September, we can tap into tradition together in Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We are going on a very special trip with Steve Bertrand Travel, just a small group of WTMJ fans. There's still room for you.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of active liver.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs.